Have you ever had a week where you didn't exercise? Didn't see the sun? Didn't go outside? How bad did you feel? That was all the feedback I needed to know that I'll never do that again. Man, it's a struggle to wake up at 4 a.m. It's not easy. And I still want to be challenged. So always walk uphill, climb the mountain every day. Step by step, we walk toward the mountain. The understanding within me has become the guide that enables me to search and discover the balance of life as my companion. Nothing else will be as honest. You won't find something like, "This is what I want to do for the rest of my life." You'll find something that gives you more energy than required. When you find something, when you do it, you're like, "Wow, this is fun." And you are truly energized by it. Then you'll walk the path to gain ability. This morning routine that I'll share with you is something I've discovered while traveling around the world. I've seen 27 countries. I've written all around the world. And there are certain practices I've seen that I knew I was drawn to, and then I did them and they worked. How do I manage my day? How can I wake up in the morning, set something up, and do it 365 days a year? You know, we were meant to spend 85% of our time outdoors as humans. That's how we were designed. But now, we spend over 95% of our time indoors. We regulate everything: light, temperature, humidity, everything. So welcome the sunlight in the first 45 minutes of your day. Why is that important? Because the first light is the most beautiful and useful light of the day. It contains healthy blue light. You'll produce vitamin D3. You can actually roll up your sleeves and welcome that sunlight. So, the first thing I do is wake up early in the morning, and then, like Tibetan monks, they would shock their bodies. Tony Robbins, and the Tibetan monks, they would shock their bodies in cold water. So I have a standard 55-degree tub, and I plunge into cold water in the first 10 minutes after waking. Imagine how soft your brain is when you wake up. Think about it. You wake up at 4 a.m. I will wake up tomorrow morning, and you too. I will wake up at 4 a.m. How soft is your brain? All brains are flexible, but they become a bit rigid because they don't contract and train as much as muscles. You have to train it to make it bigger, to make it stronger. That's antagonism. Train, contract, train, contract. That's what is trained by getting into cold showers, 15 seconds, then 30, 45 seconds up to 2 minutes, and then you're ready to go out in the winter cold for a few minutes into cold water. That's for your safety. I say cold water at that moment. You don't need to think about existentialism, Plato's philosophy, this or that. It all fades away. All the books fade when you experience the sensation. That's for your safety, I say. Cold water at that moment. You don't need to think about existentialism, Plato's philosophy, this or that. It all fades away. All the books fade when you experience the sensation. And that's by entering cold water. If you observe joy, excitement, arousal, libido, all kinds of high-energy emotions, they all require oxygen as part of their molecular structure. So when you're in a low oxygen state, you're off the tier of high emotions, and so emotions begin to decline. Now, suddenly, you've been stuck in that state for years, and now you have mood disorders, anger, disappointment, regret. These emotions don't require oxygen. You can be in a shallow sleep and suddenly feel shame. So, these are the emotions that are easily accessible. So if we can increase nutrient availability in the human population and increase hormones and oxygen in these bodies, we can truly improve human mood. We get oxygen from the air. And that's about 21% O2 at sea level. So go out in the morning and do 3 rounds of 30 breaths with 3 deep breaths in between. Just get oxygen in. Don't worry whether it enters through your nose or mouth. The breathing style I use is called Wim Hof. He deserves all the credit. I started doing deep breathing also at home, as part of the calm, because at that time I already knew it made me stronger. So now, let's do it without dry air. Then I saw all the nervous systems, all the lights, all the chakras, all the results of esoteric disciplines. I had read them in books, but never experienced them. I had found something very profound. I found it, and when you find it and you enter those disciplines, you automatically gain insight. One reason why the sedentary lifestyle is the main cause of all deaths, meaning sitting is the new plague, is because it reduces oxidative state. We know that aging, we know that disease is progressive mitochondrial disease. It is dysfunction in the powerhouse of the cell, called the mitochondria. And the more we can fuel these mitochondria and fuel them well, their favorite raw material is oxygen, the longer we'll live, the healthier we'll live, the more cognitively active we'll be, the less sick we'll become. You don't have to go to the gym and wreck yourself. You don't have to be pinned under a barbell. You don't need to crush your back trying to deadlift the moon. Go for a walk, go for a light jog, hop on a bike, play with your kids. But you have to do some movement. This is a basic need of life. What are your habits and routines and rituals that allow you to stay mentally and physically fit? One thing, when I had this house built, I had my bedroom built upstairs, so I would have to go up every night to sleep. And that was a good thing. I go up and down my steps. It helps a lot because I understand the importance of movement. I understand the importance of walking. I work hard to get in 3,800 steps inside my little house here with my guide because I believe it's so important to walk. So I created a morning routine that's truly optimized for me. I tried a million different things. I tried meditating. I hated it. I tried yoga. I hated it. And then I realized my hour is when I go to the gym and lift heavy weights. That's my hour. I realized I feel so good after I do that. Your brain is a computer. You have to boot it up. How do you boot the brain? There are specific ways to activate the brain. Physiological change. You know, I wake up at 4 a.m. You're like, oh, I'm still soft. I'm like, all right, 50 burpees. Then you do 50 burpees. That will change your physiology. If I took you outside, hit you with 55-degree cold, that would change your physiology. So I need to boot up that brain. I need to wake that brain up. That's why I tell people the most important thing to consider is that you need to have a biological experience. Nature understands that to get you to do what nature wants you to do, which is to have children. Who live long enough to have children, the only mechanism to make you act is desire or pain. So you want to move towards something. You want to move away from something. Like when I wake up today, every day, I wake up grateful. I wake up happy. I wake up excited. Find joy and happiness. Find something that makes you laugh, really laugh. Not something cruel, but something that truly makes you feel like, oh, that's genuinely funny. And look for that kind of truth in your life. That's where mindset becomes motivational, becomes emotion, keeps the mind moving, keeps the mind searching, because the seeker becomes the discoverer. And it's amazing what you can find inside yourself. It's amazing. It's far beyond what we think. That's us. And so, achievement is the only neurochemical state that I believe exists that can endure in the face of lack and hardship. And so the irony is that it becomes a transition, that it doesn't come from fulfilling some internal want coded into our hardware. It's like, wait a minute, then just chasing happiness isn't the right goal. So, the achievement I have a formula for, and I think it's universal. It's evolutionarily based on what's programmed into our brains, is that you have to work hard to find a skill set that allows you to take care not just of yourself, but of others. Life is ultimately about going out, doing hard things that enable you to take care of your tribe and yourself. And if you do that, You will feel fulfilled even on dark days when things go wrong, and it's a struggle, but you're like, I know why I'm doing this. Right? Your active service improves with something growth. As Tony Robbins says, growth is a foundational pillar of human happiness. If you have that in your bundle, all the things you need to meet nature's demands, you will feel satisfied, even when things are tough. Alright, what's my daily schedule? Oh, it's pretty straightforward. I start between 6 and 8, and then I work until 10, as hard as possible every day. And I've done that with very little variation, even more extremely in the past year, like since 1985, like